Speaking of CPUs, check this out. Dimensity 9400, the new MediaTek CPU, Dimensity 9400 is reportedly 20% cheaper than the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4. New estimates suggest it's nearly the same price as the 8 Gen 3. So why is that making news? Well, in my opinion, it's not identically the same performance, right? But it's pretty close. In fact, there's some benchmarks that are out there that show the Dimensity 9400 slightly beating the new Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 in some testing, right? Kind of goes back and forth. But one major difference is that it's considerably cheaper. I would like to see this CPU. I would like to see more companies start using MediaTek CPUs. I've mentioned in the past I've used one or two, and I'm really satisfied with those CPUs. I've been very happy with them. Give me 1 second. There we go. Sorry, I lost the audio in my ear. Now, that could play a difference. Now, if you're in this is another idea that it's an unfortunate realization that if the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 is 20% more expensive than the 8 Gen 3, if it costs the manufacturers more per part, meaning per device, if they have to pay Qualcomm 20% more per 8 Gen 4 CPU, the companies, Samsung, OnePlus, is probably going to pass that 20% increase to you, which means higher prices once again for the 2025 flagship models, Android models that are going to be rocking the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4. I doubt these companies will keep the prices the same and eat that 20% increase, because all of these companies all have numbers they have to hit every year. They all have goals as far as earnings that they want to hit every year, as far as revenue that they need to hit every year, as far as units sold every year. And now, obviously, increasing the price might change some people's mind, but I doubt we're going to see the same prices. Now, 20% higher, not on the overall cost of the device, just 20% higher on that specific part. I think you know what? Let's look that up on the fly. How much per CPU are these companies paying? So, like, for one CPU that's inside this phone, how much would Google pay for? I think it's $40. Let's see. Cost of a single Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 CPU per device. Oh, wow. I was way off. So, now I'm getting two. So, Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 orders. It says, estimated cost per unit of the 8 Gen 4 could reach up to $240. Wow, that was way higher than I thought. And now here's another report. A single Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 CPU is estimated to cost around $190. Okay, that's the more updated price. The first figure I gave you of $240 was back in early July. This new report is last month. Okay, so if it costs $190 per 8 Gen 4, 20% more, so it would be 19, let's see, 10% would be $19, 38 for 20%, so 30, so it would be 190 minus 38. So the 8 Gen 3 was $152 per CPU, and the 8 Gen 4 is going to be $190 per CPU. That means if the new Dimensity 9400 CPU is going to be the same price as the 8 Gen 3, it was $152. So you're going to see that $38 increase possibly hit your pockets, right? They're going to probably tack that on. Look, they may find a way to equal it out, and I'm sure there will be one or two companies that'll keep the prices relatively the same or just increase it $20 just to try to offset some of the rising costs of this CPU. And who knows why, right? Are the parts harder to get? Is the materials to actually make this CPU harder to get? We have no idea. That's insider info. I might try and look into that, but very interesting to know that the new Dimensity 9400, that's a big deal when it comes to Samsung, when it comes to Google. Well, Google's already signed, sealed, and delivered for TSMC, but OnePlus, right? Maybe if they don't put maybe in their OnePlus Nord, or what about Nothing, right? Think of it for Nothing. So if you're Nothing, you don't want to put the new 8 Gen 4 because you're trying to you're trying to be an affordable flagship for the new Nothing Phone 3. Well, if you can get a CPU that's just as fast, basically, as the best Android phone that's going to have this new Snapdragon 8 Gen 4, however, you're going to pay last year's prices for a nearly identical to the 8 Gen 3, I bet Nothing might put this MediaTek chip inside the Nothing Phone 3. Because when they came out with the Nothing Phone 2, when that was released, that had, at that time, they put in last year's, at that time, the year before that, flagship CPU, which was the Snapdragon 8 Gen Plus 1. So if they do that same thing this year, they could probably either put the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, or they can put the beast of a CPU, the new MediaTek Dimensity 9400, in their device, and it will cost them the same as a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. Plus, on benchmark testing, it'll be just as good as the S24 Ultra. As the S25 Ultra, as the OnePlus 13, all the latest and greatest flagship Android devices. So, I'm just saying, there's been no reports yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if Nothing hits up MediaTek and tried to negotiate a deal to put this new Dimensity 9400 in the new Nothing Phone 3, which should be out in the first quarter of 2025. I have not seen any leaks or any rumors yet, but I'm expecting to see some before the end of the year. So here in the next 4 to 8, maybe 4, 6, 8 weeks, I'm expecting to see some sort of leak, some sort of rumor, and absolutely cannot wait. I'll be the first to jump on that device. Nothing, one of my favorite phone companies, phone manufacturers, so I cannot wait for that device to come out. Strongly, I would like to see them put that new Dimensity chip in there if it's the same cost as last year's flagship. So be on the lookout for that. Now, let's see what we got here.